Courtney, did you see the jetpack story from last month?
No, I don't think I did.
We talked about it when Daniel was still in the Magden days.
R.I.P.
Just,
I mean, well, not
R.I.T. Rest in Texas.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, there was an incident at the very end of August where two different airliners that were landing at LAX reported a guy on a jetpack at around 3,000 feet in the direct flight path of LAX.
What? That's crazy. How did I not hear about this?
I mean,
what was he doing up there?
Well, that's the thing. They don't know. They never caught him.
They
have no idea who this is. There's a man on a rogue jetpack in the skies above Los Angeles.
Wow. Wait, would they have been able to like sense that like from the towers or whatever? Been able to like
Yeah, well, he turned up on radar and shit. Like there were two different, visual like confirmations of him. So this happened, but they have no idea. Like they sent out police helicopters and they didn't find shit. And that was at the end of August.
Oh my god, so James Bond is real.
Yeah. Well, that was the fun. Yeah. That was the fun part, is that we broke the news to Daniel that there were jetpacks. I think he didn't know that they existed. I was like, yeah, they've been around for a while. They're just prohibitively expensive and not really practical for anything, but they exist. But yeah, so this is from yesterday. A man flying in a jetpack has been spotted once again, hovering thousands of feet above Los Angeles International Airport. So he's back. He's back. He's back. And this time, the unidentified man was spotted Wednesday afternoon by a China Airlines flight crew. And this time he was at just over a mile up, 6,000 feet in the air.
No way.
So now we've got...
so that's what Jeff Bezos is doing with all his money.
God, I wish he was that cool. Man, it says the flight crew saw him about 7 miles northwest of the airport at around 1:45 p.m. So that's like Pacific Palisades area, something like that. So this time it was different because last time he was in the direct flight path coming from the east, so he would have been above like Inglewood, Compton, that area. Now he's over the beach cities. He's up in like Pacific Palisades or some shit.
Yeah, you would think though, like that the airplanes and the pilots wouldn't be the one to report it. You would think it'd be someone being like, yeah, some guy just took off from the ground on Citizen app or whatever.
Yeah.
Some guy just disappeared into the air.
Yeah. I mean, I suppose it's because, he's kind of so like high up, I guess, that maybe people on the ground aren't noticing this, but it's just wild that he's in direct flight path with these airliners and shit like that. So
that's crazy.
The FBI is investigating both the September incident and this most recent incident. The FAA said that Wednesday that they had contacted local law enforcement. So during the incident, when they see the guy on the jetpack, they called the LAPD. The LAPD scrambled helicopters and searched basically in like a 7-mile radius around where they reported it and did not find shit.
Wow.
So this dude is just off in the ether, man.
Can they like look up? I mean, like realistically, how many jetpacks do you think have been purchased? And you think they could like track it that way to be like, who in America owns a jetpack? We can start there.
We were saying this is for sure a home tinkerer. This is a garage jetpack. You're gonna have to look for, it's like in the movie Heat, like where they had to look for the parts of the bomb, not the, So they're gonna have to like track down specific things to maybe figure out who this is. And then there's also the second proposal about this story, which is that it is in fact not a man, but it's some sort of drone. Where
I
it's
thought
like,
you were gonna say a woman, and I got so excited. I was like, "Oh,
I mean, potentially. All the reports say man, but hey, who knows?
Yeah,
people come in all shapes and sizes,
I was like, damn, dude, that's cool.
But there are some people saying that like, oh, this might be some sort of like molded, like like a styrofoam dummy, essentially, that has drone hella spinners under its ass or something. So it's just supposed to look like a guy. But I mean, it's so much more fun to think it's a guy.
Yeah, that is more fun. I really do hope that we find out that it is a guy.
But either way, dude just disappeared.
Wow.
This is amazing. Ooh, where'd he go?
Ooh.
Normally started off with Corona by the Minutemen, but this is an extra spooky Halloween mystery jetpack man.
Can't wait to see them the next season of Unsolved Mysteries.
That's what I was looking for on the damn Spotify, and they didn't have it, so we had to settle for the X-Files one.
That's fine.
That fucking, I mean, just to switch it up real quick, did you watch all those Unsolved Mysteries?
Every one of them.
What?
And
what the fuck happened with the guy on the roof? That's the craziest one.
Oh, dude, I know. They were just like, yeah, it was like this tiny little hole.
Yeah.
Just somehow.
Did you see this, Sam?
No, I watched a couple of the new episodes. These are the new ones.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Hey, we're not solving shit, so I just stopped watching.
Well, that's why the old ones are fun, is because they actually did their due diligence, and they went back. If you ever watch the old Robert Stack episodes on Amazon, every one of them has an update where it's like, this story aired in 1992, and 5 days later we were able to find their lost grandmother or whatever. Yeah. So
all the time.
They give you closure with those old ones, but those new ones,
They weren't even trying. They're just somebody saw something freaky once. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
Someone brought up the point with those unsolved mysteries that's like, there's a lot of them, especially those ones that are the lost loves ones, where it's some person and their brother were adopted separately and they don't know where each other is. And someone pointed out, it's like, a thing that now takes 5 seconds on Facebook used to take a production studio months of work to recreate somebody who lost their brother or whatever.
Unless it's like a 3 identical twin situation or the...
Oh, that movie was fucking nuts.
That was the craziest movie I've ever seen. I've seen it so many times now because I'm like, okay, I'm going to watch this again because I still don't believe that this happened.
Yeah, we covered that one on my other podcast, What Did You Learn? Where we talked about 3 identical strangers, yeah.
Nice, highly recommend.
And we talked about Class Action Park as well, which I think you said you just saw as well, right?
Yeah, that's also like one of the best documentaries I've seen recently. Loved the first half. And I think what I liked about it was pretty funny in the beginning where they're talking about like who was running it, and they're like, yeah, they were just giving kids $100 to go try out these dangerous rides. And I was like, that's insane. But I also know that if I was 14, I would be absolutely working that park.
Yeah, $100 would have been like 10 times more money than I'd ever had.
Yeah, but I would have been the kind of person that would go to that park and invite all my friends.
I have a very specific memory of finding $10 in a park one time, and that memory is just burned in my brain. I was like 7. It was the greatest day I'd ever had.
But yeah, no, that was insane. That was such a crazy documentary, especially just them describing the rides that they created. The Red Ball one, I'll never forget.
Oh, yes, where it goes off the tracks and it just rolls out onto the interstate. Also, them saying that they used to get fucked up, the employees, and take the go-karts on the interstate. That's awesome.
That sounds like a lot of fun. I hate to say it.
When you work at a place like that, you can just do whatever. My friend who used to work at the water park back in Texas.
Oh, really?
Oh, the old Schlitterbahn.
Yeah, there's just too much things going on, too much of the park. There's really no way to make sure everybody's supposed to be at the place they're going to be. And a lot of the positions are just like, you're doing nothing.
Yeah.
Anyways, you're like, be in there and be like, whoa, slow down there,
My favorite thing in Class Action Park is where they mention like the go-kart motor world where the go-karts were, and they talk about the lake where they had like the racing boats.
Yeah.
And first of all, these are not like the low-speed bumper boats. These are like Miami Vice miniature cigarette boats where they're just fucking whipping around the turns and shit.
Oh my God, that was so funny.
And then everybody, it was great, the rollout where they had everybody kind of commenting. They were just like, it was crazy because that pond was just filled with gasoline. It stunk. It was horrible. And everybody's talking about how much gas was in the pond. And then somebody goes, oh, yeah, and it was also filled with snakes. It's like, oh, okay.
They also had a lodge that was just dedicated to like finger banging, apparently.
Yeah, one of the huts.
That was just for drugs and finger banging.
Well, and my question was, they separately talk about a medical hut where the people got sprayed with the mixture of iodine and rubbing alcohol whenever they got like friction burns on the slides and shit. Geez. And I was just like, the medical hut is the same as the finger bang hut, right? Yeah. Like they're talking about them as if they're separate. And my co-host on What Did You Learn disagreed with me, but I'm like, it's the same hut.
If there's any sort of hut in a professional environment
run by 16-year-olds,
yeah, there's only 2 things in a closed area you would be doing.
Yeah, the thing I said about that, because the story of Action Park is kind of famous, and the main thing you hear about is all the crazy rides where they're like, oh, the guy who owned it, Gene Mulvihill, like made all these insane rides and everybody got hurt and it was crazy. And I said this on the documentary podcast, but I'll say it here because it's kind of how I feel about it. It's very similar, that documentary. Have y'all seen the Andre the Giant documentary?
Yeah.
It's very similar in that everything you hear about Andre the Giant, aside from, his wrestling and obviously, Princess Bride, his acting stuff, the main thing you hear about him is the drinking stories. It's like, man, Andre could fucking drink.
Yeah, he could down 30 beers in an hour.
And then you rewatch that documentary and they go into it with that kind of energy where it's like, listen how crazy this is. And then they pull the rug out from under you. It's like, it's because he had a pituitary issue. Every part of his body hurt. His entire life was pain and he drank to control that. And you're like, oh.
Yeah.
And that's how Action Park is too, because it goes in like, oh man, a guy broke his arm. It was crazy. And then it's like, here's the mother of the boy who died.
Well, yeah, it does take a very quick, sharp turn because it goes from just being like, look at these wild, crazy guys just doing all this fun stuff with all this money and cocaine. And then it's like this woman that's just like, he's a piece of shit and ruined everyone's life.
Yeah, you see her at the beginning, but they don't tell you who she is. She's like, Jean Mulvihill was a piece of shit. Yeah. It's like, wow, that lady is really intense. And then you find out it's like, oh, it's because he murdered her son and lied about it.
Second half of the documentary is very, very sad. It brings you to a little bit too reality too much.
Oh man. Oh well, I mean, Cooper's not here, but it's okay. The time is up for the poll.
Okay.
Oh, so. to dab a bug.
To whether or not Cooper and Sam should dab a bug. And I should say there is a bit of an asterisk next to this poll because Twitter died earlier today and then came for a while because too many people were posting pictures of Hunter Biden passed out with a meth pipe in his mouth, and so they killed Twitter.
That's the reason?
Yeah, I mean that's the Republican conspiracy anyway. It's kind of, I mean, it's funny. I don't think that's actually the reason, but that is what all the Republican people are saying. They're like, it's because we found a picture of Hunter Biden with a meth pipe and they had to kill Twitter. It's like, I mean, we all knew.
Yeah, right.
I mean,
they didn't shut down Twitter when Kathy, whatever, with the head. I don't know.
Oh yeah. God. Yeah. And also it was funny to see how many, people were like, this is Hunter Biden with a crack pipe, and a bunch of people pointed out, they're like, actually that is a meth pipe. So,
just selling themselves out.
Fucking idiots.
Come on. So
the actually autistic drug pipe people. Well, actually the temperature the meth pipe burns at is not correct.
Wow, please stop drug-splaining to me.
But yeah, so with that small caveat in mind, with a final total of 39 votes, we've got 59% coming in for yes, dab a bug, while only 41% are saying no, do not dab a bug.
I voted yes too, so that sways it a little.
Okay.
I shouldn't have been allowed to vote.
I did also vote.
Okay,
and I voted yes.
You voted yes.
Who knows? I think it'd be easy to just throw one in there.
Yeah, why not?
It depends on the bug,
Yeah.
An ant, certainly.
I think once you get the bug anywhere around the bowl, which is red hot, they're gonna be adverse to it. If they're still alive, might have to go with a dead one for sure.
Yeah. Well, there's plenty about. I went to war with my ants outside this morning. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to say, I think a live one might be a little harsh. I don't want to torture, murder an ant by dab.
Yeah, you got to murder it by regular and then dab it.
I have a fun story from Detroit. A Michigan woman says that she woke up to someone urinating on her while she was on a Delta flight from Las Vegas to Detroit.
Wow.
Is this fun?
Well, this is the fun part. That someone happened to be a well-known pastor, according to a report from WJBK Fox 2 News. And the weird thing is, and I looked, nobody's saying what pastor. That information as of right now is unavailable.
Why? It says a pastor.
It just says a well-known pastor. And it's like, how much do you have to fucking pay to the news people to keep it at that?
But also, how many well-known pastors are there?
Well, that brings me to my next point. It does say a well-known pastor from North Carolina, but I realize he's from Virginia, but this almost has to be Jerry Falwell Jr., right?
I don't think so.
Which one is that?
He's the one that got fired from Liberty University for a litany of great things.
I just think the amount of pastors who are weird perverts is through the roof, no matter what state. Maybe he runs like a mega church, or he's on TV.
Yeah.
Or,
West Baptist or
local fucking television shit.
Yeah. Oh, Westborough's they got no more friends. So if it's them, that you would know. It'd be like, this is a Phelps.
Yeah, because I don't know. I mean, that sucks for the pastor, but it's the least of the crimes associated with well-known pastors.
Maybe prayers do work if his name stayed out of the news somehow. God is real.
Yeah.
Did they have a time? When was this flight? Like, they're not even serving alcohol on flights lately. Like, how did that even happen?
Alicia Beverly told the Detroit TV station that the incident happened on Monday night on a red-eye flight, so this is middle of the night. She says most of the people on the plane were asleep at the time. According to what she told Fox 2, she was sitting on the back of the plane next to her sister at the time of the alleged incident. Quote, "It felt warm. Like on the side of me. I felt something warm," she said. "I jump up and I see his private area and I screamed, and that woke up everybody. By that time, I actually looked at him and I see him... This is awful. I see him shake himself off." and
Finish the job?
You don't want to get any pee on the inside of your pants after that.
After you pee on a sleeping woman. And
Shake it out.
I see him shake himself off, and I'm like, this man just peed on me. And I looked, and there was a puddle of pee in the seats. Beverly told Fox 2 an off-duty police officer was among those who heard her scream and woke up. She says he then jumped on the man and restrained him. WJBK is identifying the man only as a well-known pastor from North Carolina.
Wow.
Man, what an
It's crazy
amazing...
that could be if he's well known and not one person on a flight would release the name.
That's what I'm saying. It's like, if this happened to me, it would say a little loved comedian from Los Angeles named Rivers Langley pissed on a woman. Like, my name's going right in. I don't got that kind of influence. I don't got that God money.
So funny.
If you didn't, they wouldn't even mention this podcast.
No, definitely not. Beverly said that she had to sit in the urine-soaked clothes for the rest of the flight more than 3 hours before it landed at Detroit Metro Airport.
Damn, that sucks.
Which, sucks, but on the other hand, it's like, there's no shower on the plane.
Yeah,
It's
she didn't have a carry-on with
she should have a carry-on with another outfit.
Yeah, someone should have offered to at least go down.
Somebody give this girl a T-shirt. That's disgusting.
Exactly. And as somebody who's been covered in my own piss a lot of times, let me tell you, it's not fun.
Yeah.
It's not fun for any amount of time, but especially when the piss gets cold.
Yeah.
And it feels like you spill water on yourself, but it smells like piss.
Oh, man, and those airplanes get real cold, too.
Yeah.
So, honestly, that's like
People
my
don't like it. You don't like it when you piss on yourself. They don't want to help you on public transit. I threw up on myself on the train one time. Nobody wanted to help me.
Aww.
In fact, they got far away from me.
Wait, what? When? Wow. What happened? What were you eating?
I just was sick.
Oh,
I was
okay.
coming home I'd left work early because I felt sick, and then I threw up on myself on the train home.
Oof.
And then I still had to catch a bus after that.
Damn.
I've definitely pissed myself before, but I don't know. Something about having someone else's piss on you just makes me want to
It's worse. It's worse for sure. Because that's sexual assault.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely, yeah. And Fox 2 said the police did take the pastor into custody with possible charges pending. The FBI handles investigations into incidents that have occurred on airplanes. So
Damn.
it's man, imagine that. You get it's an FBI matter now.
Yeah.
So bare minimum, this man should have to go door to door whenever he moves and explain to people that
Yeah.
I am a well-known pastor. I peed on a lady in 2020.
The pissin' pastor. That's what they call him. That actually kind of happened to my dad
Fastest
once.
stream in the West.
My dad, one time my dad came to visit me, and we were going back, we were taking the subway back to O'Hare Airport. And I remember he sat down in something wet, on the train, into the airport. And then we were and it was absolutely piss. Like, he just sat in a giant puddle of piss, not realizing it. And then he had to go to a Brookstone and buy $80 pants before the flight and throw them away.
Yeah, sometimes you got to.
Do they sell pants at Brookstone? I thought it was just that place that sold the chairs that jiggle.
Yeah, it was some kind of one of those fancy airport stores. I'm
Oh,
not really sure.
okay. Yeah.
That's the only one I could think of that's like kind of
The
similar to this
kind that
type.
exists just so when you piss your pants or somebody else.
You have to buy
pees and you
$90
sit in it.
pants.
Yeah.
yeah. Brookstone, I think, is just where you go to get.
They have other stuff.
Do they?
though.
I thought it was
Yeah.
just jiggling chairs.
Well, that's the reason you go in there is to just sit in
I
the
think that's
chair
their
for
bread and-
free.
I thought they had the sand garden where you make the lines with the rake. You know,
All sorts of relaxing
Fountains.
balls you can squeeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place was very great for your senses.
One of those
Absolutely.
places that you look back on it and you think, how did you exist as a business? And anyway, nobody was going in there and buying $1,000 massage chairs.
It's true. Yeah, I think the concept was to take Sky Mall and put it in like a physical location.
Oh yeah.
Because Sky Mall was always, ambitious.
Yeah, I miss Sky Mall. They don't even have them on planes
I
anymore,
know.
which really bums me out.
Yeah.
They're just like, hey, get on our app for the Wi-Fi and we'll advertise to you there.
This is a somewhat related story. This one's from Bristol in England. A UK man has been charged with assault after allegedly farting in an Uber and attacking the driver for protesting.
Protesting the fart?
The fartage.
Okay.
Yes. The maximum fartage that was going on in his Uber. The driver was not happy, and they got into a fisticuffs.
I mean, how do you protest? If you're driving and somebody farts, you just roll down the windows, right?
Maybe he was farting like a lot. And maybe he was going, I'm doing this on purpose. I don't even have to fart right now.
Yeah, maybe he just like had his butt towards the front.
Yeah, he was like turning around specifically.
He was talking like Ace
Going-
Ventura.
Yeah,
going,
banaka.
you smell that? And like waving it up front.
He's just going, SBD, man, get ready.
See, all the drivers have like the plastic dividers here now.
Oh, yeah. Well, I
So
assume
you couldn't even do that if you wanted to.
I-
Why would you want to?
Yeah. Quote, he behaved in an unattractive manner that night, his lawyer said. So the Odiferous Incident reportedly occurred last year. So this happened last year. So this is pre-COVID, I guess. When Kingswood's James Mallet, 35, let it rip in the back of the ride while on the way to a local nightclub with 3 other people.
Ah, he's getting ready to party.
Let It Rip in the back of the ride sounds like a rock song.
That's what I'm about to say. Yeah. Nickelback.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I let it rip in the back of the ride.
They're talking about like smoking cigarettes or something.
Oh, we were smoking cigs.
Don't light it too close to my butt.
Well, the barking, burning spider lives on the outside of my pants. This was the final straw, quote unquote, final straw for the Uber driver named Alexander Bonchev, who had allegedly suffered abuse at the hands of the other passengers, according to court testimony. The prosecutor said Bonchev told Mallet to, quote, leave the vehicle, whereupon the flatulent, well, I love British newspapers, whereupon the flatulent fare offered the flatulent fare offered to fight the driver. God, that's a sentence.
Like this offer.
A
Would you care
lot of
to?
F's and
I
R's.
love
there.
that alliteration there, boy. Flatulent fare offered to fight the driver and struck him in the head. Bonchev reportedly responded in defense by punching Mallet in the face and knocking him to the ground. And at that point, a young lady who was with Mallet reportedly persuaded him to leave. Police encountered the unruly passenger a little while later, who was sporting a cut on the bottom of his lip, according to Scott, who added that he was, quote, plainly intoxicated. So,
The classic.
I love that.
You smell like a winery, sir. And shit.
Yeah,
also.
yeah, and did you poop in your pants? Also, bigger question. I love the guy's name, Scut. Scut told the court that Mallet was abusive to the police. Nonetheless, Bignall said that his client has been described as a polite, helpful, well-behaved, courteous man. Fortunately, the Gassenger, this is why they pay them the big pounds. The Gassenger admitted to assault and occasioning harm on November 30th, which landed him 6 months in jail, a $650 fine, and 120 hours of community service. The jail sentence has since been suspended for 18 months because of COVID. The ordeal has proven worse for Bonchev, and this is the part where you're just like, oh God, why? It's because the guy who was being a dickhead went to jail, and then of course got out of jail because of the pandemic, but still.
That's not how we do it in America.
I mean, yeah. Well, this is sort of how we would do it in America. The ordeal has proven worse for the driver. The driver was unable to work due to a broken finger sustained during the fight, and as a result, he lost his job with Uber, his vehicle, and his house, and is now returned to his home country of Bulgaria. So this guy broke his hand on this dude's face and then couldn't drive for Uber anymore and had to leave and go back to Bulgaria.
Wow,
so
that was a deadly fart.
Yeah, I'm telling you. Yeah.
Damn, you can't even fight your passengers anymore. Now that sucks though, because you hear so many like Uber drivers, especially like comics and shit. You hear we're friends with them,
yeah,
or somebody's just like acting fucking outrageous in their car.
Oh yeah,
and you got to decide like, do I just let this happen or do I physically fight this person, which seems to be the only other option.
Dude, I had to drive Uber for like 3 months. I was trying to get a plane ticket to go to my buddy. Shout out to my friend Mike Falk up there in Washington. I was trying to go to his wedding, so I was like, I just need $300 for this stupid plane ticket. Mm-hmm. So I was like, all right, I'll drive Lyft, for like a few months and get some extra cash. And it was terrible. It was the fucking worst. And especially,
as it seems like it would be.
Yeah.
Well, and especially in LA, the only way to really make money at it is to drive drunk idiots from Hollywood to West Hollywood on Friday and Saturday night. That's the racket, because that's where most of your fares are coming from, is just that little bar crawl. And people here, I mean, that's it's just slightly too far to walk. So people are like, fuck out, get it. And then you're just driving the scum of the earth back and forth from like the Abbey to fucking like Hollywood and Vine or some shit.
That does sound like a nightmare though,
and
in and of itself.
God, yeah, and people are just, hey, give me your aux cord. It's like, yo, fuck you.
Yeah,
that was a big thing. Was people were like, hey, can you put on, because I would just have it on like the fucking.
I'm trying to listen to a 45-minute long guitar solo by the Grateful Dead. No, you may not have my aux cord.
Nah, I would keep it on K-Day. I figure, old school hip hop, that seems across the board like a thing everyone can agree on, myself included.
The fact that any driver offers an aux cord is insane.
Oh yeah, the
fact that some drivers started doing that and it became a standard is fucking fucked up.
The first time it happened to me, I immediately hid mine. I just put it in the glove box. I was like, they're not going to know about this.
I've been in rides where the driver I've been in a ride, I've taken Ubers out to go party with a bunch of girls, and the guy's like, here, ladies, have the aux cord, and he just would all sing along to Britney Spears or whatever.
Yeah,
but he loved it. He loved every second of it.
A light show that goes off. They'll have lights in their car that react to the music.
Yeah, it was like that.
That is the funny thing about Uber and Lyft, is like the different standard of the drivers, where it's like some people are just like me, where it's like, if I could just get $50 tonight.
Yeah.
And then there's some people like you're talking about, they're like, we love it.
Yeah, I would never. I would be like, I drove for Lyft for like a month maybe, and I was like, please don't talk to me, please don't talk to me, please don't talk to me.
Yeah.
People like the times you said. Also, my old roommate used to do it. He had a minivan, so he could do like large
XL,
groups and shit.
Yeah.
And he said if you woke up in the morning and did morning traffic and then evening traffic when everybody was getting off, he's like, I make so much money then. Yeah. And I think he was able to like do comedy and not have to deal with like the mega drunkards unless he wanted to.
Right. But was this was like 2015, 2016
this
time?
Or 2017?
Oh, okay. Yeah, because when it first started, you really could make a bunch of money.
You could.
There's a great episode of the Dollop podcast with Gareth Reynolds, who was on my stand-up thing, the fundraiser, which you can still available if you donate to Ian Dent's campaign.
My brother's obsessed with that one.
Oh yeah, so they did a great one on Uber about Travis Kalanick, the guy who started Uber, who's just the biggest douchebag of all time, basically. And they talk about how they kind of, originally the original idea was to basically get a bunch of people in, and they had very low percentages for the drivers, so you ended up making a bunch of money. And then once they hooked a bunch of people, then they turned up the percentages of what they take. So there was a time where you could make a bunch of money doing it, but I remember I just saw something on Twitter where somebody posted where they drove pretty much every day for an entire year, and their net profit after maintenance and gas and everything else was like $4,000.
Oh
it was
my
fucking
God.
nuts.
Oh yeah, after you pay all your bills and all that shit, you don't make very much money.
No,
it's not like you have spending cash. It's like you have get by for life cash.
Yeah.
And they have that thing where you can rent a car. You can rent a car through them.
Oh, and you know what that is?
Really gets you in debt.
Oh no, yeah. Well, you know what's crazy about that shit is when you do their financing program, and tell me, people listening, if this rings any bells, the type of loan that you're getting for the car when you rent to own a car from Uber is a subprime loan. Which is subprime mortgages. That's what crashed the economy in like 2007. So it's that exact same thing. They're essentially Wall Street is betting that your dumb poor ass cannot afford that car, and they're betting against you. So they're gonna make money when you default on the loan.
So fucked.
I've heard that's basically people are like, yeah, get a car, it's great, and then they can't keep up with the payments.
It's fucked. Yeah, the two worst Uber experiences I had, they're pretty mild because like I said, I only did it for like 3 months, so it's pretty damn mild compared to some of the stuff I've heard. But there was a guy who asked that we go through the Jack in the Box drive-through, and I was like, yeah, sure, man.
I've always wanted to ask, but been way too embarrassed.
Yeah,
me too. I have thought about doing that.
And I took these two guys through, and I was like, and then we went, dropped them off wherever they were going, and there was goddamn ketchup and just shit, just all like they fucking they left every bit of their trash and also like sauce on my fucking seats.
I would have told them you can't eat in the car.
Yeah,
I mean, it was right when I started too, and I was just like, well, it's money,
They make there's rules that they're not supposed to, like, if you have like even a bottle of water, they can be like, I won't let you in. You're not supposed to bring any food or drink.
Yeah, well, these people, they were cool. That's the worst part. Is the guy was like, man, is it cool if we go to Jack in the Box, my man? Fucking, I'll, whatever. Like,
give you 5 stars, man. Come on, man.
Like that kind of shit. And I just assumed, he would. I don't know if he tipped me or not. Maybe he did, but because you tip in the app or whatever. So maybe he did tip me a lot just to ruin my back seat. But it was one of those like, dude, you can't just at least put all your shit in the bag and leave it there. Like there was wrappers everywhere.
That's the total shithead drunk move.
Oh yeah. Well, that was bad. This other one, and again, same problem. These guys weren't rude. And I picked them up from like 3 streets over, like Marathon, like we're right next to our house. And these were the 2 worst smelling people. Like they smelled like, weed, and just, as Vincent Price said in Thriller, the funk of 40,000 years. Got into the car, and I had to drive them to Crenshaw, to some place near like USC, like some bar. And it was January, and I just fully had my window down. Like I was like, I can't. Like I'll just die of fumes in here.
Yeah. So I've been the smelly guy in a Uber pool, but I've also sat next to a smelly guy in the Uber pool. So I feel your pain here.
It was terrible, and I picked them up from Marathon, drove them to USC near downtown, and then did a few more hours of Ubering, and then I got a ping from near USC. God damn it if I didn't drive them home too.
No.
I was like,
and it probably smelled worse.
It was so much worse because now they dumped fucking sugar booze all over themselves and
got sweaty.
Oh god, it was awful. Yeah, it was January too, so in LA everyone here is such a pussy. They cranked the heat all the way up.
And
so
they're wearing a huge jacket.
yeah. Ugh, yeah, horrible.
Yeah, that's horrible. I would have quit that day.
It's terrible. So I understand Bonchev's pain here. If they had been rude, I would have stopped and tried to make him get out, because that's as bad as farting on me, frankly.
Yeah, well, fuck the guy. Fuck this guy for just causing any sort of drama in the backseat of an Uber.
Right.
Yeah.
Bulgarian guy. You'll probably get treated better in your home country than fucking driving Uber for jackass drunk people.
Right, yeah. I definitely...
Maybe not, though. Maybe he's going to go back there and be the guy who fucking makes rocks or makes rocks into gravel or some shit like that.
I definitely had 2 people that were just making out the whole time, and the guy would stop kissing the girl to be like, hey, can you put on some something else?
No way.
I swear to God.
He's like, this is killing my vibe right now.
I need
literally
some Keith Sweat, brother.
Yeah. And I was just like, I don't know. Give me a radio station. He's like, you don't have an aux cord? And of course I had hidden it in the dashboard. So I was like, no, I'm sorry.
You're like, I'm sorry, silence. Thank you.
Yeah, I was like, I can,
see if they're playing Luther Vandross
yeah.
on the Soul
Channel. Yeah. Maybe Art LeBeau is on,
Loving you. You should have done that.
That's Maya Rudolph's mother.
No way.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah, I should get that damn high note, man.
That's crazy.
But I ended up dropping them off at this taco stand. They were so fucking obnoxious. It was the taco truck near the 101 on Western, and the guy was just like, he gets out and he's just like, he was like, hey, we're going to get tacos. Could you please stay here? And I was like, Yeah, and then as soon as they into the ride and fucking jetted off, I was like,
Hell
boom.
yeah.
Of course.
Fuck y'all. I was like,
you don't
I'm
get
not.
paid to just sit there while these motherfuckers get tacos.
Yeah, terrible.
I would have done the same thing. Have you ever had the Uber drivers that try to sell you stuff, though?
I've had one where I walk or I sit in and there's like iPads in the back of the headrest, and that like all these advertisements for different shit start coming up on it.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
you could play a game on here and like all this other shit.
I've had ones where like literally they'll have like little packages of like incense or weird like Etsy DIY shit just like hanging in the back, and they were like, and then they have like their business cards, and they were like, these are great gifts, and I was like, I know
Wow.
this is illegal, but. And it's also is like really shitty DIY crafts that you're trying to sell.
Stuff that won't sell on the internet.
Yeah, I'm not going to
already.
buy incense from the back of an Uber. What do you
Yeah, I had a guy because I usually go back home in the spring to host this music festival, and so when I travel for that, I've always got that big cowboy hat right there, and so I get back from Alabama and I have to wear it because it's it's not a thing you can put in a bag. So I'm just wearing the big fucking cowboy hat. I get in the Uber, and the guy is this Filipino guy driving, and he's like, "Oh, hey, you like country music?" And I was like, "Yeah, man, I do." And he's like, "I make my own country music." And I was like, "Yeah, brother, fire it up, man. We got to come from the airport." So like,
I
he
would
puts
too.
it on, and I'm just thinking like, this is gonna be kind of whatever. And I'm just gonna have to be nice and be like, "Oh, it's good,"
I like that cover of Save a Horse, Ride a Cowboy.
It was
The honky tonk.
But yeah, the honky tonk badonkadonk. But then in the twist of the cinch, he fucking was good. He had a really good voice for country. I was like, hot damn it. It was all gospel stuff, but still, I was like, damn, dude, like you actually have a really good voice, bro.
Man, did you find him on SoundCloud later? Wait, do they
Nah.
have country stars on Soundcloud?
Yeah,
Probably,
We
right?
got everything on
Everything on
SoundCloud,
SoundCloud.
yeah.
I wasn't sure if it was just exclusively for rap.
They're just the only ones getting popular from it.
Right.
The rock bands go to Bandcamp.
That's
I
true. That's
see.
true. Yeah, no, I don't think I did any more investigation
Yeah.
into it. And I don't know if he was even online. I seem to recall it was sort of like, a passion project kind of
Yeah.
thing where he was just like, oh yeah, but yeah, I listened to it and I didn't even have to blow smoke up his ass. I was like, this is fucking good, dude. Like,
That's
you've
cool.
got a good voice.
That's kind of cool. I like that.
Yeah.
One time, my old roommate Mitch got in an Uber, and the guy does the thing that a lot of crazy Uber drivers do, where they'll just start telling you about their life, and it's always not going well when they want to tell you about it.
We've had crazy ones.
And he was just talking about how basically him and his son tried to start like a weed business out in California, but everybody tries that and they don't know how to do it they don't know anything about weed, and it failed, of course, and it was just going on and on about this. And at the end of the ride, and Mitch doesn't smoke weed. Mitch is like afraid to have any sort of confrontation. So Mitch was just sitting there like going, oh man, that's listening to him and being nice. And at the end, the Uber driver popped his trunk, got out reached into one of those big turkey bags just full of weed, and just gave him a big handful.
God.
And then Mitch had to just be like, oh, thanks, man.
Wow.
And then I think he just threw it away immediately.
Jesus.
Damn, I can't believe we threw that away.
I know, dude. Mitch is a bitch.
Yeah,
and I will
what a-
say that because he'll never listen to this podcast.
Yeah.
Nice guy, but when it comes to cool stuff, a little bitch.
Yeah, I've told this before, but a tour I had once gave me, they did tip me, but then they also gave me a jar of what turned out to be very shitty weed that they had gotten. They were like, oh yeah, we came from Northern California, and this is, somebody grew this, and then but they had to go back international somewhere, so they couldn't take it. I believe they were from Australia, and they just gave it to me, and I was like, okay. So I ended up taking it to Derek, aka Jed, from the Brothers band, and I was like, can I get any money from this? And he's like, dude, I'm not gonna lie, no.
Really, it was that bad that you couldn't get any money out of it?
Yeah, because it wasn't a whole lot, and it was also just it was like some shit that some hippie grew outside in Northern California. So he was just kind of like, man, I mean,
I was thinking like a jar full.
No, it was. I mean, it was a jar of that size, but it was maybe like 2 or 3 nuggets.
Whoa,
cool.
If that, I don't know. I don't know anything about weed. I was really hoping. I was like, I don't know. Maybe I can get like $8 or $9 for this. I don't know.
You'd hope.
And then Derek was like, I mean, I'll take it from you, but I'm not. No one's gonna give you any money for this, and I just wanted it to be over.
Yeah,
it was like I was like Walt in Breaking Bad. I'm like, I just want out. I just want out, man. Get this out of my car.
You should have gotten $1 for it just to say you sold drugs before.
Oh yeah.
Next time.
That'd be a good
Wait,
experience.
I'll give you a nug, and then you sell it to me.
Yeah. I think Jed and Joe Raines ended up smoking it pretty quickly.
Yeah, I mean,
pretty quickly
it's
after
a couple nugs. That's going to be gone fast.
Yeah.
This was from Tampa, Florida. Incensed over a pair of scathing reviews on Yelp, the owner of a Florida barbecue joint last night allegedly physically attacked his suspected online critic, according to cops who arrested the restaurateur.
Wait a minute.
Investigators charged that Daniel Aarons, 60, jumped atop the male victim and struck him several times while outside of his residence in Largo, a city in the Tampa Bay area. Aarons was arrested for battery and booked into the county jail. He was released from custody early this morning, posting a $500 bond. According to the arrest affidavit, the confrontation Tuesday evening began when the victim, whose name has been redacted by police, arrived at his Largo home. The victim is the son of Aaron's girlfriend. So it sort of makes it seem like this is a random attack, but it's like there's probably some shit here.
Okay, wait. So the guy. Wait, who's Aaron?
So Aaron is the owner of the restaurant.
Got it.
And he beat up his girlfriend's son.
Oh, who was writing bad reviews?
So
he suspects.
He thinks. So the victim, cops reported, sought to speak.
And I'm banging your dog. And your food sucks.
Well, no, he's not. No, he's
banging his mom.
Yeah, no, yeah. This guy's banging his mom.
Okay.
Yeah. So
that would be something like some disgruntled stepson would do.
Right.
Like, fuck this guy.
I fucking hate my stepdad.
And your ribs suck.
The victim, cops reported, sought to speak with his mother about, quote, threatening communications sent to him by Aarons. In addition to the text, Aarons allegedly called the man, quote, several times in regards to wanting to beat his ass about a restaurant review. And I love the way that the Post puts this. A pair of brutal Yelp reviews, which not as brutal as beating a man in the street, New York Post. A pair of brutal Yelp reviews published Monday disparaged the food at Georgia Boy's Barbecue.
Do we have the text of these reviews?
We do indeed.
Oh my gosh, can't wait.
The restaurant owned by Aarons. It quotes from the reviews. I'm just going to read the whole thing.
Okay, great.
So there's 2.
But just do it in character as a disgruntled. Just kidding.
No, I will. No, because there's 2, and I think that the guy who got his ass kicked wants Aarons to think that there's 2 people, but Aarons believes this is the same person because they were posted on the exact same day within like hours of each other. So yeah, here we go. Sean R. from Tampa, Florida rates Georgia Boy Barbecue 1 star on October 12th, 2020 and says, I wouldn't call this barbecue. Hell, I wouldn't even feed it to my dog. Maybe the owner should spend a little less time threatening customers and more time learning to cook properly.
Maybe the owner should spend a little time having sex with my mom.
Yeah, maybe if he wasn't fucking my mama all the time, he'd learn how to low and slow that shit.
This is a classic, like what you see on Restaurant Nightmares.
Yes,
where,
it is. Yeah,
where like somebody's like they yell at the customers and get crazy in their face, and then whoever's doing it was like, well, this other motherfucker who wasn't even here, it's his fault.
But yeah, that's Sean R. And then, an hour later, Rick R. Posts, worst customer service in Florida. And then the conspicuous ... that appeared in the previous review. Worst
Bad giveaway.
Worst customer service in Florida, $1 million. Not a great idea to threaten your customers due to your serving garbage barbecue. So
I mean, you can tell this happened.
Yeah, he definitely threatened someone.
yeah,
Or somebody complaining about the food.
Yeah. The arrest affidavit does not indicate whether Aarons thought the victim authored both Yelp reviews or was somehow involved in their posting. Police charged that the victim's mother opened the door. Aarons shoved his way past her and started to chase the victim out into the road. Eventually, after the victim tripped and fell, Aarons jumped on top of him and struck him several times while the victim covered his face. I love this. Aarons did not return phone messages left at the restaurant or his girlfriend's cell phone. He had also previously been arrested in July in multiple felony counts of domestic abuse and was accused of threatening a woman with a wooden board that he used to strike her car. So we found the Citizen app in Tampa, a man with board.
Wow. Yeah, this guy sounds like an absolute monster.
Oh, yeah. But, this being America, in a plea deal Aarons copped last month to criminal mischief, he was only fined $575 and credited for the 11 days he spent in jail before bonding out. So he beat up his girlfriend and then beat up another lady's car with a board and did 12 days in jail.
Yeah, that's a good deal.
And a $600 fine.
I'd be interested to know how much that restaurant donates to the local police boosters.
Or just how good of a lawyer he has.
That too.
Like when we talk to your friend who's a lawyer, he's like, the law doesn't matter. It's the negotiation process.
It's the story. It's the negotiation, and then if you actually go to court, it's the story you can tell.
Yeah. And so he lawyered up.
Yep.
As he should have. Every crazy person has a lawyer on retainer.
At least the ones with money do.
Well, I think this is a classic angry person situation.
Right.
Where they're just fueled with anger constantly, and then somebody does something that slightly upsets them, and they act in a crazy, unacceptable way.
Right.
And then the angry person goes, well, I'm only acting this way because you did a thing. And it's like, no, you actually control how you act 100% of the time.
Yeah.
It's not this guy's fault that you wanted to hit their car with a board.
Yeah. So that's the big news in Tampa.
Wow.
That's the only thing happening there.
Yeah, I mean, that's just chalking another one off the records for Florida for being weird.
I love...
And this is why Texas barbecue is better. You won't get punched.
It's all the barbecue with none of the domestic violence.
Yeah. Well, all the damn barbecue, the good brisket places in Austin, at least, they have security guards there, because the line is so damn long.
I've never been to any of those places.
No? You ever stood in the damn line at Franklin's where they...
Fuck no.
They walk down the aisle and go, all right, honey, by the time we get to you, we're going to be out of brisket and we're going to be out of ribs. And then they walk like 15 people down. They're like, all right, honey, by the time we get to you, they're going to be out of brisket, they're going to be out of ribs, and they're going to be out of sausage. And then they walk more down, because they've done it so much, they know exactly what they're going to be out of. So they just walk down the line and,
They know exactly what they're going to be out of because they purposely don't make enough. So that the restaurateur can go, we run out every day.
It's genius.
Seriously,
it's
that's why.
Good marketing.
That's why they do it.
Yeah, they had a pizza place in Chicago that apparently Beyonce and Jay-Z went to one time, but they were literally open for 3 hours, 3 days a week, and they only had one kind of pizza, and it was whatever the chef wanted that day, and it was the most popular exclusive. It's that exclusivity thing.
People are so fucking stupid. It's go wait in line at fucking Franklin's for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Be told you can't get half the stuff on the menu, or just go to any place in town,
right,
and walk in and immediately get what you want and have it be the same quality or better.
Go to Black's. Or something.
But there's a Black's in town now. There's I always say House Park Barbecue.
Oh, okay.
If you're looking for some exclusivity, they're only open for lunch.
Yeah. I went to the Truck, La Barbecue, when I was there, and it was pissing down rain, so the line was only 45 minutes long.
Oh, that's...
because it was raining and we were in a gravel parking lot.
I used to work for this company called TaskRabbit, and they would and so for Frank's and for things like that, a lot of the people would hire a TaskRabbit to go wait in line for them. at Frank's, which I thought was like crazy. So they were like
And
paying
that's the
extra.
pizza place?
Yeah, and they would just hire. Yeah,
Yeah.
no. I mean, I'm talking about
Franklin's
Franklin's.
Oh, Franklin's. Oh, okay.
Yeah, Franklin's.
Oh, I didn't know the lingo.
Yeah.
No, they called it Frank's.
Well, I guess I just forgot that it was, but I call him Frank. We have a close relationship. Franklin's, yeah, and so they would just like they'd pay like $50 for some kid to just stand there for hours just to get which is like a pretty good job, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, they'll throw you like beers and bottles of water and shit in line too while you're waiting.
Hell yeah.
I don't know. I can't. I'm the type of person that if I walk into any type of restaurant and they say if they're like the wait will be longer than 15, 20 minutes, I'm going to leave.
Yeah.
Every fucking time. If I walked into a restaurant and they said 45 minutes, I'm fucking out the door without even taking a second breath. I would be walking out.
Yeah. It depends on if it's in LA, then yeah. If it's somewhere where I live, but if I'm on vacay and it's the spot.
Yeah, I think if it's the spot, I would be a little bit more like if it's like something like I really wanted to try.
Yeah. Although it's that thing of, it's almost, Austin similar to Chicago in that way where, I mean, deep dish pizza is pretty good no matter where you go.
Yeah.
And briskets, especially in Central Texas, pretty good wherever you go. I think everybody there knows what they're doing.
Yeah.
So
it's also, like you said, it's the branding. It's the branding of being like, we run out every day.
Right.
When you come back from Austin, people are going to be like, well, did you try the barbecue you have to sit in line for 3 hours for? And if you say no, you look stupider than the person who just asked you that question.
Oh.
Well, that's the only things people ever say about Austin is live music and barbecue. If you talk to anybody, live music, barbecue, and oh man, you can have a lot of fun there, which just means they drink too much.
That is accurate, pretty much.
I mean, that was my experience there, pretty much.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, a lot of fun, a lot of meat, and
especially if you're visiting, those are the things It's like when people come to LA and they're like talking to somebody who grew up here and they're like, dude, you fucking see all the stuff from the movies and the beach is awesome. And somebody who lives here is just like, I went to elementary school 3 blocks from my house. I fucking me and my dad sell fruit on the side of the road. Like I have no interest in anything you care about.
Yeah. I'm waiting. One of these days, people will start coming back to this city. Damn it! I'll be here to show them around. I am. I've never missed work. I've never missed a job ever.
Yeah.
There's never been a point where I'm just like. I mean, I'm nostalgic about certain jobs.
Yeah.
Not because they were good, but because I worked with people I liked. Perhaps all my
and there was fun moments.
Right. All
those
my
restaurant jobs,
pizza jobs. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, delivering pizza, making pizza, all that kind of shit. I've got nostalgia for that time, but it's not a thing I'd want to go back to. Whereas this is just like, I miss meeting random Australians and telling them shit about movies. I love it. It's the funnest thing ever.
I think doing tour stuff is fun too. I wish, like, if I could make enough money doing it, I would do that for Chicago too. But unfortunately, it's not as big of a tourist.
I mean,
thing as LA.
they film enough shit in Chicago now.
I mean, I could be like, oh, here's the Home Alone house on Christmas, maybe.
I feel like the people who go to Chicago wouldn't even necessarily want to see movie stuff.
No,
I
they
feel
wanna
like they would
see
definitely
crime
want to see
stuff.
Yeah,
crime is the big like. Oh, here's where
Crime
Al Capone
stuff.
hung out.
St. Valentine's Day Massacre.
Multiple sports stadiums.
Yeah.
They have all sorts of stuff you've seen on TV. Yeah, gangster shit.
Oh,
the High Temple.
Oh,
maybe.
the Al Capone like bar.
Oh, where he sat.
shit.
Yeah, the Al Capone seat where he's sitting in the corner so you can see all the entrances.
They even
and
have
shit.
the bar where John Wayne Gacy used to hang out. That's a big spot.
It's where the cool people hang out.
That was reliably every time I had someone do the, what I call the murder tour. Those are always the most interesting people.
Oh,
I
really?
never had a person that wasn't cool as fuck and boring on that tour ever. It was always just really fun, weird people who were just like, take me to the Manson shit. I want to see the OJ shit. I want to see the
Courtney once saw that.
I do. I would like to see the Manson shit and the OJ shit.
Hey, we'll go right after this. It's
Yeah, I'm down anytime.
Yeah. Yeah, I do miss it though. So maybe it'll come back. Who knows?
It will.
Yeah.
The thing is, it will. Because people are, we're fucking up bad here in America.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, people are starting to become more aware that they should take it serious, I think. But at the same time, we've been having to do this so long that a lot of older people are just like, God damn it, this inconvenience is still happening.
Right.
Even like you can see it on the streets of LA, like people, they're wearing masks or whatever, but when you're outside, you pull them down. Like you clearly are just sick of dealing with it. Like everybody is, as you should be.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, we fucked up so hard.
I was reading some shit about up in Redding, California, which already has the fires that are like nonstop going up there. So they've already got that as an issue. But also this like mega church preacher keeps coming to town and having maskless like mass gatherings at his mega church. So they just keep getting these huge spikes, and they traced it back to, they were like, why is Redding just have these? They're like, oh, it's this one preacher who just keeps coming to town and having these crazy church events. So now they've made him illegal. I think
an irresponsible pastor. You say?
I'm telling you, maybe that's kind of what I was thinking, man. I was like, is he the guy? If not Falwell Jr., it might be this guy. So who knows? What'd y'all do today?
Courtney has to work every morning.
Yeah.
I woke up and ate and then felt like I needed to go back to bed, and then I did that.
Fuck yeah.
Yep, I didn't do much. My online Dungeons and Dragons weekly group got canceled, so...
Let's talk about that.
Absolutely.
All right, what's your DM like?
DM is great.
Yeah?
You know, we're part of a homegrown campaign, and this is his second one that he's ever done. And I met them through like my old job, and so it's just me and a bunch of like these like smart engineer people. So they're amazing at it.
Oh yeah,
I'm kind of the one that's just like, hey guys, can I just hang out? But then I slowly like got really into it. But yeah, he's great. He's very open minded. Lets us go really off the rails. It's the best.
That's fun.
Yeah.
What's your character like?
Okay, well I have a dragon-born Southern gentleman.
You have my undivided attention.
His name is Ragnus Vornelius Jones, and you have to call him by the full name. This is embarrassing, and I'm going to make it worse.
No, that's the coolest shit ever. What are you? No, you are.
This is honestly what people listen to this podcast
that's what I'm
for.
saying.
You're appeling to a large percentage.
So
of the
he's a
demographic.
dragon-born Southern gentleman named Ragnus Vornelius Jones, and he wears a suit, and he's a rogue, and he came from a crime family of dragons. And he's he's been trying to escape that life of crime, and so he's on his own to try to like find himself, but he can't help it. But he still has the same like urges to steal. And
so this
do
is
bad
like
things.
a road to perdition sort of story a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. But he talks, a little bit like Yosemite Sam.
It's Road to Perdition Tom Hanks, but he sounds like Forrest Gump Tom Hanks.
Yes.
Hell yeah.
Exactly, and looks like a sexy dragon.
This is truly outstanding. We
also have a doctor, like a German doctor, a German wizard doctor who turned himself into a squirrel accidentally.
Wow. What do you have to roll to make that happen? Lord, that's a bad roll.
Yeah. We have a big robot guy that has a childlike mentality. We had this. It's a fun little crew.
That's incredible. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love hearing about this shit, and it's weird to say this out loud. I've never been invited to play Dungeons and Dragons.
I wanted to play for so long, and I never knew how to get involved because everyone that I knew played had been playing for like a decade,
right? It's
intimidating.
With
the same people, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I'm going to be so bad at this. But I was just very, very lucky that these guys were like, they let me to sit in for a couple, and now I've been playing for it'll be a year. In November that I've been playing.
See, that's
gotta buy
nice.
you some different shirts. Your shirts are about rock bands.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get you some shirts with some swords and some wizards on them.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Get you invited real quick.
Maybe if I got more like Rush shirts, I could strike the balance. If I just had like lots of Rush and
old
shit with skulls on it.
Yeah, old like Manowar album covers.
Yeah, there we go. Mastodon. I feel like they're a nerd metal band.
I feel like you'd be great at it. It's just the only thing is that you have to have like really good like improv skills, which I don't really have. So sometimes I get really like choked up and like not sure what to say. But
you have to go for a punchline.
I mean, it's good if you do, if you can make it funny and stuff. But there's just it's so complicated too. So like the more I learn, the better I'm getting at it. So,
But yeah, that's the thing, and I don't necessarily have time now, but in years past, I've had friends that have played. Many of them are listening. No one has ever been like, "Hey, what are you doing Saturday?"
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Well, Operation Let's Get Rivers
shame
in a
on you.
campaign.
Well, no, that's what I'm saying.
You can play on Zoom now.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I'm busy now. You missed your chance,
Damn.
world. Fuck you.
Well.
But yeah, but that, I mean, it does sound fun as hell. One of these days.
Yeah. If we ever get more, if you ever want to play, if I ever become a DM one day, I'll make sure to give you a call.
Yeah. There we go. Hell yeah.
DM seems like the worst one. You got to do so much.
Oh my god.
You have to play all the different characters. You have to plan everything out.
Yeah. You're a party planner. You got to write a bunch of shit.
Yeah.
It's wild. Yeah. People don't appreciate that. I
No.
don't think.
Yeah. That's why I love my DM.
Do y'all got anything else?
No, wait, what did you do today? Did you?
Just this. Read about people getting their ass kicked in Tampa.
Yeah, it's
It's
pretty
what
good
I do
day.
every day. Troll my Florida boards, looking for crazy shit.
He went to violentfloridanews.com. Found out some cool shit.
Honestly, I do wish that was a website.
Yeah, violentflordanews.com, airplanep.com, uberfarts.com. Uberfarts was not what I was. It was something else. It was a very twisted pornography. It's the Uberfarts.
I could see that being a genre.
That's the most specific.
Also, piss planes too, though.
Yeah.
Really.
Piss planes, Uber farts. My God.
Yeah.
Boat dumps,
God.
whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Christ. Well, are y'all ready to jam?
So ready.
Yeah.
Hell
dude.
yeah.
I got a couple of these today before I got distracted.
Hell yeah. Shout out to Josh who requested this
Josh
one.
from Patreon
Yeah.
from Augusta, Georgia.
All right. Oh, shit. Hell yeah. Shout out to Josh in Augusta. Say what up if you see Mr. Goodnight on the streets down there. But today he requested this one, and this is a song we've talked about before, but never in the context of YouTube comments. And that, of course, is MSI, also known as Mindless Self-Indulgence, and the song is Shut Me Up.
And this is one of those just classic shitty bands I have brought up on this podcast multiple times. You have to be in a really specific niche of terrible music to have even ever heard of them.
Courtney, do you know this song?
No, but I'm kind of
There's
into
way-
it.
No reason for you
wait
to
for
be.
this part. This is the part you got to hear. Because what he does with his voice, that's the song. That's his thing.
That's it. That's not the song. That's every song.
That's what I mean. It's
Wait,
his
isn't it
thing.
all their
That's
songs?
the band.
That's
yeah.
the band. He is if the guy in Mortal Kombat that pops up and goes Toasty started a band, it would be MSI.
Wow, that should be incorporated in some beats, though. Now that I think about it, that'd be pretty cool.
Surely there's enough nerds out there somewhere that has made its way. Babyality or something, something like that.
And about a year ago, this was a hit on TikTok.
Oh, that's what I saw.
According
a bunch
to a lot of people.
I saw a bunch of references to TikToks. I
Bunch
guess
of people mad that not the true MSI fans are here. It's just the TikTok gen.
Right.
I've been listening to this 10 years ago. It's weird to be a hipster on such a just dog shit band.
Right.
I've
Yeah.
been listening to this for 10 years.
Here's my.
For a decade.
Here's speaking of just this thing from Ash Fixation. I remember hearing this when I was 3 and loving it.
There's no way that's true.
Honestly, a
That's my
3-year-old
first. That's my first great lie of it.
Unless it's like some horrifying memory. Like that, like it's something
Remember shit from when you were 3.
Yeah.
Not
like
and then-
some barbecue owner was beating the shit out of my fucking dad while this was playing. It was wild.
after somebody had just gone, put on some really shitty music. So he says I was 3 and loving it, and then next line, all caps. Another great song ruined by TikTok.
Come on,
I've been listening to this since I was 3 years old.
get out. Come
Which
on.
that would make them like fucking 13 or something.
Yeah.
That would make them only 13 now?
Yeah.
Oh,
I think
this
so.
is-
I was going to
Music-
say, like, get off of TikTok.
This music came out in like the mid 2000s or
Yeah.
late there. I don't even remember.
I'm thinking it's the mid 2000s. Let's see. 2008. Okay, so that's a little later than I'd assumed. But
So if you heard this when you were 3, right when it came out,
Yeah.
you would fucking be 15.
yeah, right. So I love the old man, 15-year-old.
Goddamn TikTok.
Ruining
everything I
my
love.
life. Throttle Kitty from 1 year ago. Step 1, get angry at the world. Step 2, find this song. Step 3, volume up to 100%. Step 4, headbang an air guitar until you draw blood.
Whoa.
I don't know if you can. I mean,
There is
unless
so-
there's a grievous accident, you're not going to draw blood headbanging and finger guitaring, air
Nice
guitarring.
smacking yourself
Yeah, unless
in
you're
the face.
yeah, unless you're against a wall.
Yeah, it's so funny how many people who comment are like, "This is some fucking rock music right here."
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah, the
I don't really listen to a lot of rock, but if I did, I would not think this was rock music.
I remember one of our listeners riding hard for MSI. Like last time we made fun of them, they're like, "Hey, I like this band." Which again, I like Primus, and that's a band that you can easily
on.
level any of the same accusations against. I just find Les Claypool's fucking weird nasally redneck voice less crazy than a toasty guy. You know,
No, it's way better.
This one reminds me of like the opening credits for like a anime cartoon or something.
Somebody commented, "I thought this was the opening of an anime until recently."
From what I could gather watching the video, I believe the guy who did Invader Zim directed the video. So there was a lot of references to Invader Zim that I had to go through.
And just through the director in general,
Yeah.
which is so funny.
Man, what a
that-
callback though. I haven't thought of Invader Zim in a long
Yeah,
time.
that was the first time I had thought about it in years.
Anthony from 2 months ago. Hello, baby. I'm back. After 10 years, I'm 24 now, and you look sexy as hell.
Wow. Okay.
I don't know
Maybe
what
it's a
that's a
song?
reference to.
Maybe they love the song more than ever now.
Yeah, I like that they're back after 10 years. So
Yeah.
in 2010 they were like, "Fuck yeah, dude!
I'm
this is my shit."
24 now.
Here's somebody.
I'm legal.
I'm ready to party with this song.
I'm legal. Shut me up.
I think I found the most intelligent, or at least most logical person in the comments. Alyssa Browning. This song, for some reason, was way better when I was a teenager. Yeah, because you have good taste
I was
now.
about to say-
because your brain is not fully developed.
407 likes on that one.
A lot of things in life you will find were better when you were a teenager. Just wait till you go back and watch all those movies you liked, boy. Really hooked on jackets from 1 month ago. All I want in life is for Republicans/conservatives to see the video for this song. Is that too much to ask?
Yeah, because the video of this is a guy like working a cashier stand at like a big box store.
Yeah, like a Walmart or
and
something.
The line is really long, and he's just like freaking out that he's the cashier and he's got to deal with these corporate overlords. It's just like one of those things where it's like, yeah, I guess you could say you're making a message, but you're definitely not saying anything. Like everybody's heard what you're trying to say before, and also this music is gonna not make anybody want to agree with you.
Pastor Gaines from 4 years ago. True story. I slammed this song on at full volume and I jumped into a cold shower. And let me tell you, if someone filmed that moment, it would have been the scariest movie of 2015.
Wow. That image. I did just get goosebumps.
What the fuck? He
just
got in a cold shower, and it was
What were you doing that was so scary in that cold shower?
And it doesn't
He
say.
just watched his dick shrivel up inside his body. It's like, damn, if you played some MSI over this, everybody'd be freaked out.
Chris Romero from 6 months ago. Man, this guy just outright went from heaven and back down before exploding into hell.
What? Is that a reference to the video? I didn't watch the whole
No,
video. 'Cause I've watched it once when we were bringing up shitty MSI songs.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think he just means like maybe the way the song is, the shock me up. Like the
Oh, that's the heaven, and then when he goes low,
I
it's
guess
up.
I'm trying to become a comment whisperer here. That's my goal, is to really understand what
you
these
ever,
maniacs are talking about.
Have you ever responded to any just being like, "Hey, what do you mean by this?"
Every once in a while, you see people doing that where they're like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
We treat it like we're filming a documentary.
Right,
and we're not going to intervene.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's good. Yeah,
But
not the subjects of the.
Maybe it'd be fun too to one day if we saw some comment from like really recently.
Right,
we might
right.
Respond.
Or from 10 years ago and be like, "How do you feel now?"
Now that you're 34.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one from 2 years ago. Kieran Metcalf. I will say right now, this one has 1,600 likes.
Hot damn.
I can't be the only one who thinks this song is a little gay. 1,600 people agree.
Wow.
Yeah, girl, you are not the only one.
What part of it is that? I don't know.
I don't know.
Rivers. All the replies are being like, "Yeah, you're right. This is gay. I'm gay. That's cool." It was just,
Yeah.
I had to listen to the lyrics, I guess.
it's not the
No, I'm
lyrics.
just kidding.
It's the everything.
It's the commenter for sure.
It's everything. No, the song is. I don't know.
Rochelle Mumford, "This is my song." And my mom is like, "Why don't you like pop music?" "Women, I love rock." I think she was trying to say woman right there. Type of women.
Come on, Mom. I like rock.
I'm a rocker. Don't you hear this fucking heavy ass shit I'm listening to?
Ami Pop-Tart from 1 year ago, and this is all caps. "Heck yeah! I'm barely listening to this. Where has y'all been my whole life?" That's amazing.
That's a pretty good one.
It's funny to discover this band later and be like, damn.
But
Could have been jamming it for a while.
But then to include the part, "I'm barely listening to this," that's the best part.
This
We're
is-
just like, whoa.
This is some good
That is
like
funny.
Netflix background music. You put this on in the background. Every once in a while you can look up and be like, "What the fuck's happening?" And then get back on your phone.
Semantralist from 3 months ago. "I like to imagine this was the song playing in Jeffrey Epstein's mind the last few minutes of his life."
Wow.
I guess that's because it's called "Shut Me Up," but like,
I was
that's-
thinking the mindless self-indulgence part.
oh, okay. I mean, that too. Either one.
Yeah.
Either one works. My God. I love the guy who's so Epstein brain where he's like, "This was the song." And then he clicks to the next one. He's like, no, this one.
Yeah.
Was this from like a year and a half ago when everybody was Epstein brained?
I think so, yeah. Or no, 3 months ago. So this
Yeah.
guy's behind the times.
Still in it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Also, clearly it was 1 week. That's the song in Epstein's brain. Everyone knows.
Damn.
Because that is what you hear when you die, is just "It's been" over and over. That's
Wow.
yeah. You taste oranges and then you hear "It's been." That's what they say about death.
Oh.
It's in the ancient sacred Hindu text. It's been.
All right, well, I can't wait. Looking forward to it.
I got a couple more. I love this name, Slip Magoo from a year ago. When I was like 12. My friend's older brother forced us to listen to MSI all the time. I really didn't like it then. And I can't say I'm much more of a fan now, but it does bring back the old days. Whoopish!
Wait, what was the last one?
Whoopish! Which I think is in the, because in the song it's the whoopish like that. But he just wrote whoopish, which makes me think he's a semi-juggalo.
Yeah.
He's not full whoop whoop, but he is whoopish. He's whoop curious.
I'm a little whoop curious.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Let's see. Nocturnal. Oh, sorry, I want to save that one. Second, I got two more. This one is from, and this is long and real crazy. Julian Octavius Dellery from 7 months ago. Any enemy left in here, I'm so damn mad. So I'm right the first time. And to be at solo, possibly. Ugh, so mad. These back clean swords, they didn't do great, and I kept them. But I'm young as hell. I'm too young, age 29. While not at group, I'm illegally unmad.
Okay, that's a lot to unpack
Anger
there.
management group, for sure.
Yeah, I'm same me. Me. This is equaling same pattern I lived through. I stopped being speechful. I like more power. Obvious responsibility, and I can't achieve finding thing, argue at more power. Creation should only be alive for 12 days, 387 days, and not a living factor. And this is
that like Creation the rapper?
That's what I was thinking, because this is only from 7 months ago. I'm like, Creation hasn't had a hit since like 2011. Like, Creation is a barely remembered one-hit wonder at this point.
Oh, Creation?
Creation?
Yeah.
She's good.
I like
She's
Creation.
Yeah,
Gucci, Fendi.
yeah.
I like her. She's cool.
Current is, you know what? It's expected the same. Man seals, preferably video, super type, 4 years SWAT, non-fed holiday. All planets Julian Octavius at gmail.com. So if you got any questions,
Wow.
he left his email.
And I hate to sit back and brag because I live in L.A., but I know the guy who produced the Fendi Prada song.
Oh, no
Really?
shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
That's really cool.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm
damn.
impressed.
Maybe he could do your first record.
Yeah, that'd
Hey.
be fun.
Let's make that happen.
He
Hell
loves
yeah.
music. He loves music.
Fuck yeah. And finally, Nocturnal Tunes from 1 year ago. I can't believe this has 6.5 million views. I saw MSI open up for an ICP show in 99. Nobody liked them. And dude whipped out his small dingle on stage. And then that just made people start throwing shit at him. LOL. He was actually pretty good at dodging the objects and smacking random projectiles. I guess when you tweak as hard as him, you can see things coming at you in slow motion. Put your pud away, crackhead. LOL.
There was
Is this a reference to the cold shower guy?
No,
No,
This is, when we talked about them before, like somebody else had brought up, I think it was Kyle Clark, that he had seen them open up for another band that he
Yes.
went to see. And apparently MSI opened up for ICP on like one tour, and everyone hated them everywhere. Like they would get fucking booed.
Yeah.
Apparently at one show, people just all turned their backs and sat down.
Oh my god.
Apparently, like, really got a ton of shit. And one of our listeners, I think, who had been at one of those shows, like, messaged us. Or
Oh, was it Nick Jones?
I think it was somebody who's an ICP fan.
Yeah, it's probably Nick. Speaking of which,
That's so cool.
he's on the Patreon this week. I watched. Speaking of ICP, I watched. There is a Juggalo themed comedy film that we watched and reviewed. That
Was it the one they produced?
I don't think they produced it. They're in it.
Okay.
But it stars Piper from Orange Is the New Black and
Really?
And Kate McKinnon. And here's the crazy. It's called Family, and it's on Hulu. Here's the crazy thing. It's fucking hilarious. Like,
No
it's
way.
a great, funny movie. I laugh my ass off most of the time. And then you get, and they actually kind of nail the Juggalo aesthetic, I think. And I was positing on the Patreon episode that I think that, you know, I think that maybe the person who wrote and directed the film, she probably started out, you know, with the idea of like, oh yeah, and also we'll have like a Juggalo subplot. It'll be fun to make fun of them. And then what happened to her happened to me, where you start doing research on them and you're like, I respect them.
Oh yeah, I see. Yeah, I grew up with like. I'm from the Western New York, so it was a big ICP
Oh, yeah.
around there, and
huge in the Rust Belt.
Yeah, so
absolutely.
I low key, love a Juggalo. But where is that? Can you find that? Is that movie online anywhere?
It's on Hulu.
Oh,
it's
wow.
called Family, and
Well,
it's
don't watch Big Money Rustlers or Big Money
Oh, yeah.
Hustlers.
Oh,
Make sure you never do that. Everybody listening.
I have a grand ambition to do an Insane Clown Posse episode of this show at some point, and then to include a review of those two films on the Patreon.
We
app,
tried to
That would be
watch
cool.
one. We tried to watch one in the past couple weeks.
Oh, really?
Past
yeah,
month.
we did.
Yeah, I think
we've
they're
been watching
made.
like a few like YouTube documentaries.
Well,
maybe
it was
around our
one of
way.
those just random things on Prime or
Yes,
whatever.
they're both on Amazon.
And oh boy, did we make it about 5 minutes in before it was like, whoa, there has been so many fart sound effects that they think are hilarious
Yeah.
5 minutes into this.
Couldn't do it.
Oh my God. Well, that is mindless self-indulgence. Shut me up, and that is our goddamn podcast. Courtney, tell the folks where they can find you on the internet.
Well, you can find me on Instagram, CatwingCourt, or Twitter, Courtnikovia.
Hell yeah, Sam. Where can people find you online?
Slam harder on Twitter.
Hell yeah. Just promise me if y'all dab a bug this weekend, film it and put it on Twitter.
Doing something like that and not filming it would be so much sadder than doing.
Yeah, you come back.
Somehow it would be, yeah.
Like when Daniel did the dab off the floor, he's like, I don't know if we should be filming this. It's like, dude, you want to do this and just have the story?
Yeah, that's, I mean, it's gross either way,
Yeah.
but yeah.
So you might as well film it.
might
if
as
you're
well
gonna
film
do
it.
I want to see you drool all over yourself onto the floor.
You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Rivers Langley. The best way to support the show, head over to patreon.com/thegoodspod. Still available. The stand-up special we did a couple weeks back, we got until Election Day to raise money at actblue.com/donate/transcoroner to donate to my friend Ian Dent's campaign to become America's first trans coroner. Any amount of money, I will send you a link to that show so you can check out, Roy Wood Jr., Gareth Reynolds, Brandy Posey, Anna Valenzuela, and Keith Carey, and myself. The second best way to support the show, of course, go to Apple Podcasts, rate, review, and subscribe. Tell a friend, show the attitude of gratitude, and we will see you next time. Oh, hello. My spooky song for today has a very mysterious origin story. Mysterious in that no one knows who wrote it or when. You see, this is one of them ancient folk ballads. It's called The Unquiet Grave, and it dates back hundreds of years to either England or Scotland. No one's quite sure. What we do know is that the song was eventually published in 1868 as part of Harvard folklorist Francis James Child's collection, The English and Scottish Popular Ballads. The Unquiet Grave appears as ballad number 78. Like most English folk ballads, this one is creepy as hell. The song tells the story of a young girl who's been crying at her murdered lover's grave for a whole year, when finally the corpse can't take any more of the wailing and he rises from the grave to plead with her to move on with her life. She wishes only to kiss him, but the corpse tells her that if she kisses him, she will also die. The ballad ends on kind of a question mark. The girl asks for a grave to be dug so she can lie down in it, and that's sort of it. We're not really sure if Homegirl goes through with offing herself. It's one of my favorite things about the old English and Celtic stories and ballads like Beowulf, Lord Randall, things of this nature. The story is just there to creep you out and be disgusting, and then it just sort of ends, leading you to draw your own conclusions. Since its publication in the mid-19th century, The Unquiet Grave has gone on to be performed by famous folk musicians like Joan Baez, the English band Griffin, and the Dubliners with the late great Luke Kelly on vocals. But my absolute favorite version of this song didn't come around until the winter of 1996, when musicians Aaron Freeman and Mickey Melchiondo holed themselves up in a beach house on one of the frozen, windswept barrier islands off the coast of New Jersey. During the warmer months, these islands are a summertime paradise, but during the winter, they are absolutely desolate. Aaron and Mickey's goal was to get away from all distractions and write an album. On their very first night at the beach house, they pulled out the lyrics of The Unquiet Grave from a book of old folk tunes that Aaron had brought with him. Mickey and Aaron disregarded the traditional tune of the song and put their own much darker chords over the lyrics. Mickey would later say that this song set the tone for the rest of the original tunes on the album that came after it. That album would go on to become one of the best and most underrated albums of the 1990s. The record is called The Mollusk, the band is called Ween, and the song, The Unquiet Grave, was retitled Cold Blows the Wind.
Cold blows the wind over my true love. Cold blows the drops of rain. I never had but one true love, and in Camville he was slain. I'll do as much for my true love as any young girl may. I'll sit and weep down by his grave for 12 months and 1 day. But when 12 months were come and gone, this young man, he arose. What makes you weep down by my grave? I can't take my repose. One kiss of your lily white lips, one kiss is all I crave. One kiss One kiss of your lily white lips and return back to your grave. My lips, they are as cold as my clay. My breath is heavy and strong. If thou wast to kiss my lily white lips, thy days would not be long. Oh, don't you remember the garden grove where we used to walk? Pluck the finest flower of them all, 'twill wither to a stalk. Go fetch me a nut from a dime.